What becomes weirder the older you get? When you are younger, it seems your life is split into chapters. There is a very clear delimitation between, for example, 9th grade, summer vacation, 10th grade etc. As you get older, those delimitations disappear. Seasons fly by and it seems there are less and less events to mark the passage of time. Having a crush on people in high school. The fact that you still feel young but your body is slowly betraying you. Just hanging around places. Not doing anything. Edit. I just wanna clarify that I mean the whole thing of teens just loitering around public places. Not doing anything in particular. I'm not talking about wanting to be on your own or anything, as I've received a few comments about. The younger generations. Realizing that no matter how hard they tried, there were a lot of disturbing, messed up, not so good ways our parents raised us. How affectionate you are with your parents. If you can learn to come to terms with who you are and be happy with that, then everything becomes easier. Basically, stop beating yourself up. In the, probably misquoted, words of Homer Simpson, don't keep blaming yourself. Blame yourself once and move on. Calling your dad, daddy. People, you start off with school and learn to categorize things, so you categorize people. But the further away you get from school, the less people seem to fit in boxes. The less you seem to fit in a box. You're all weirdos. Just most people are in denial. Kids TV shows. Seriously, some of that stuff looks downright creepy to me. Or like it was created by someone who does a lot of drugs. Ordering a Happy Meal at McDonald's. Life, man. Life. In 1973, when I was 7 years around the sun, I was playing a local league soccer game and got the ball kicked right at my head. This was due to my propensity to stargaze rather than play the game at hand. I woke up in the hospital with 5 missing teeth. They grew back, but unfortunately in the wrong position. From then on I was not able to smile, and because having molars for front teeth is hard to hide, people thought I was angry all the time or smelled something foul. Be careful playing soccer. The world seems limitless when you start out, but by the time you're old, it looks small and fragile. Human behavior becomes repetitive and predictable. The older I get, the more I realize that most people are nearly just as lost as me in life. We don't know what we're doing. We're just trying to figure shit out on the spot. I've hit that spot where I used to think my parents knew what they were doing, what was good or bad, in general or for me, and it turns out they now don't know much more as I do. Yep, a little bit of life experience. Sure. But overall as parents they are just as confused as I would be if I was a parent. They're just trying to do their best. And more specific than that, they're trying to do better than their own parents. It's weird. So weird. How big bruises get and how long they take to heal. Relationships. So for me it was definitely youth culture and pop music. Until I had kids. Then, just being around it all, I realized some elements are weird and some elements are exactly like my own childhood. Now I know some of the popular bands, memes, styles, etc. of high school girls and I'm like, okay, not weirder than the shit we were into in the 80s. So, 80s culture, totally normal. 90s culture, it was in my 20s, a little weird. Zeros culture, dealing with toddlers in my 30s, completely foreign and weird. Tens culture, okay, they're less ducked up than we were 30 years ago. It's kind of funny when I catch them jamming some ABBA or they catch me listening to American authors. Edit. Sorry about the shitty formatting. Reddit kind of sucks that way. The places where hair grows from. Political leaning. When you're younger you hear we'll legalize weed and you're on board unconditionally. But as you get older you start to hear the rest of the sentence. From pros vendors, apostrophe, who banned dissidents, apostrophe, and we're going to duck up the Middle East to spite someone that bullied our leader in high school. Why does lemonade bought in stores typically have imitation flavoring, but furniture polish contains real lemon juice? Climb a tree. I would love to do it sometimes, but it would be really weird if someone saw me. Our existence at large. If you spent a lifetime constantly learning new things about the universe and how it works, or just experiencing different people, cultures, ideas, arts and activities, you end up having even more questions than answers. If anything, it all makes even less sense than when you started. Now that ain't necessarily a bad thing, as there's a certain amount of perspective to be enjoyed from marveling at it all, yet it's still crazy all the same. Telling people about your favorite dinosaur. Being breastfed. Not being the youngest person at your job. I spent so much time ignorant of how lucky I was to have my whole life ahead of me that it only dawned on me I was getting older when I was suddenly surrounded by younger people than me at my job. My face. It's a little different to a lot of what's here, I guess, but to me, what becomes weirder is the creeping realization that stalks me every time I walk past an old folks' home and muse over the fact that every year probably brings me closer to playing a nice quiet game of bridge with Edna. So I guess that's the concept that time is weird. Climbing trees. It's fine until you're like 12. Then people start giving you more and more weirded out looks. Church. No, I do not want to blindly repeat what you just said back to you in monotone. Understanding more and more shit your parents said or did that you hated. At 15-16 you can look at almost anyone and without second thought be able to say they're cute, but once you're 20 plus you really gotta consider how old the person you're looking at is, because if it comes out they're not 20 plus it's just sketchy. The fact that I still feel like I'm 19 years old inside my head. I was expecting grown-up mode to activate once I had my own kids, but it doesn't seem to have happened yet. Dating a teenager. Hanging around primary schools. Wearing sexy revealing clothes. Sex. The reasons for my boners. Weirdest thing is idea of life. When I was a kid I thought 100 years is expected lifespan. At 20 I had a quarter life crisis. At 25 I realize I'm in midlife now, considering life expectancy now. By the time I am 40, surviving would just be a joke with climate change. Playing pretend with your friends' siblings. Being a One Piece freak and collector, and cosplaying as Luffy, Bonnie or Kura. Youth culture. Rejecting adulthood. Being like, ugh, I hate adulting. I don't understand my bills. Ahaha, what are taxes? I just want to watch cartoons and be soft cool. But you can do that while figuring out your retirement savings. A friend calls it her Peter Pan syndrome. I call it being immature and annoying. Modern music. What the hell is Drake? His name is Jimmy and he should be in a wheelchair. The adult dating scene. Lies and misrepresentations abound. Youth culture and the passage of time itself. Like I still think last month was January.